Well, first of all, I apologize for not having this video done a few years ago, but this phone has and still has water damage. If I don't have this, this is a Sprint. This is shot from the Sprint Samsung Galaxy Note 4. This had water damage. If I don't keep this phone connected to a charger cord, I can disconnect it and it will stay on for a few seconds, maybe a few minutes. Then all of a sudden the screen flickers, and then you get the whole screen is covered in rainbows. Like different thin colored lines, that are different colors, and then all of a sudden the screen just turns off, and the colors just fade away, and the screen goes black, and the phone turns off. So, but we'll get right to it. This is an unboxing, a late unboxing video of the 152 UV, not the UVR, but the 152 UV. Now this is a genuine Harris Falcon model, not the Chinese one. So it did cost a few $1,000s to have it purchased. The Chinese one tries to stand up to the real deal. They do make theirs just like the real deal. The Chinese try just like the original thing. The Chinese make theirs 100% waterproof, dustproof, and freeze-proof as well. And just like the real deal Harris model, they also make theirs as well as in both fiberglass model, which you see here, or an aluminum model, just like the Harris Corporation does. But this isn't the actual real deal, so we're going to unbox it, and you can see here that this isn't anything new because I already have shit taped to the battery. So I'm going to go over this battery here for a second here. This is a rechargeable battery. We're going to go over this. So this is just a cheat sheet of different frequencies that I could go to if I forget, because I was in the Southern Texas State Militia. Now these frequencies have long since been changed over to a different city UHF or VHF, or sorry, for the UHF frequencies. So these frequencies have all but been retired from our unit. But I'd be able to look on this card that I taped on there. Well, first I took a note card and cut it out to this size, and then I wrote everything down. Then I put mailing tape around the whole thing, front, back, side, whatever, to give it this laminated feel. And not only to give it in a laminated feel, but if it ever gets wet, it's not going to just shrivel and get destroyed. And then I taped it on here so I could just cheat and go, okay, command is 443.125, or tactical channel 1 is 453.050, which is what I've always had. We have militia operations command is UHF frequency 349.315, or Montgomery County PD Police Department is 158.820 VHF. Montgomery County FD3, which is just a tactical channel that the police department, sheriff's department, fire department, paramedics, and search and rescue communicate on, is VHF frequency 154.965. So let's just plug in the battery and we'll get started. You notice it locks into place. And we're going to make this video really short, because this is going up on YouTube and this is going up on Facebook, and I'm not spending a whole lot of time on this review. I just want to make this thing quick because I got something else to do a review on, and it's going to take up a lot more memory on this phone. So here we have it in its full beautiful color. Let me just back it up here. Y'all can see it in its full. I'm going to tilt the phone up like this. You can see it in its full beautiful color. That is what Harris Corporation considers to be a rod antenna. Now there is a rhino antenna, which goes from here, where it starts, up to about here, which is a rhino antenna, but they consider this to be a rod antenna. The UVR would have this little panel back here, this whole panel back here, where my thumb is, this whole panel where my hand is, would be fat, and stick out more like this, and you'd have a short stubby antenna on the back, and that whole thing would be a GPS thing for the UVR. I do not have the UVR model, I just have the UV model. Now, because I have the UV model, I can get an external GPS device that connects to this programming port, but I don't need. And what this thing does is I have tape on here, like, just to be, you know, it is 100% waterproof, freeze-proof, dustproof, but I don't want this connection to get dirty. You can connect this a programming cable from your computer to here, and then program this radio to store channels automatically, so you don't have to punch them in manually. Give me a second here. Shit. Yeah, well, I guess it's dead. I thought I had power in this thing. I normally use this with this ran out of power here, but supposedly you would be able to turn this thing on. You know, it's on. You'd be able to push your let's say you want to do 453.050, then you just go 453.050, and then you'd be able to push the talking immediately, and you could have your UHF 0 on top, UHF 1 below, UHF, VHF, VHF, UHF, vice versa. So you could have two different UHF, like UHF 0, UHF 1, or VHF, UHF, or UHF, VHF, or whatever, or UHF 1, VHF, or VHF, UHF 1, or whatever, just vice versa, or have the very same frequency on both things. Now you'd have your menu button, push to talk button, your squelch button. The new PRC 168s do not have a squelch button, and they don't have the original, you know, universal U.S. military 6-pin connection. As you know, they went from 5-pin to 6-pin. So anything that is 5-pin will not technically work on here. I've heard that it will on some backpack radios, but as far as the 148s and the 152s are concerned, they will not work. You plug in a 5-pin into here, and your push-to-talk squelch, it would be like you push this, and you're not going to let go, and it just keeps on communicating and talking and talking and talking, and the only way to get your radio to stop talking on that frequency is you unplug your 5-pin mic from the 6-pin connection. Now, the 168s came out, they had like some 19, 20-pin weird connection type thing. And here's how you know it's just the assembly line right off the bat, new technology, 19, 20-pin whatever connection series port thing, and you know, but the U.S. military hated it and didn't like it, so they decided to go back to their 6-pin connection. So there's only a few 168s available that you could get with that 19 or 20-pin connection series, because now they're having to go back and retroactively fit their 168s they've made currently into the ones that they are making as well with the 6-pin connection, because it's what the military, as far as the U.S. military, is mostly familiar with. You know, we could ask a buddy of ours, you know, your backpack radio doesn't work anymore. It got hit by bullets, but you have a little telephone mic that's 6-pin. You mind if I use that on this? You know, I don't got a mic of mine, or my mic was busted or something. And yeah, sure, man, go ahead, and it would work fine. Yeah, so I guess that's for my reviews. This thing is great. It worked great. I had a mole sleeve. You know, when you're in the military, like I was, and I actually used one of these once in the military. I didn't use them quite often because I was in the Air Force. But, you know, and you use this once, and you know they give you this mole sleeve that you slide this thing in. You know, that goes on. It's like has like straps on the back of the mole sleeve. Has like these straps to the button, so you strap it to the back of your bulletproof vest, and you slide this in and you have this big long bungee thing that comes over, you know, with a you know, something like this, and you just clip it, and then you can unclip it, and re-clip it, you know, with a buckle clip and with a mic coming out here, and you were good to go. But my reviews on this is it is a good radio. Now you can get the Chinese model one for a few $100s. They have the 148 version and the 152 and the 152 UVR version that Triumph Instruments makes. They do make a good quality replica, and again, just like the real deal versions, they have them both in both fiberglass and aluminum model as well, just like Harris builds theirs. And the Harris equipment is fully compatible with the Chinese model. So I could take this Harris battery, and my buddy has a Chinese model one. It actually says, instead of saying Harris here, it says TCA, you know, and I could take my genuine Harris battery, plug it on his, and it would work. Or his equipment would be able to plug into mine. His antenna would work on mine, you know, vice versa. But he has the UVR, so he spent $400 on his, as opposed to another friend of mine who spent only $215 on his because he has the 152, the UVR. I got another friend that's got a 148, and the difference in 148 and 152 is on the 152 you have all these numbers, you know, full keypad. The 148 you don't have that. You have this plus and minus to increase or decrease your frequency number. This up and down arrow, these left to right arrows, and then you have this button right here, this number 5 button. Of course, on the 148 it doesn't have a number 5, it just has that refresh symbol. Or no, sorry. Where's the refresh symbol? Oh yeah. Okay, sorry, with the 0 button right here, which it wouldn't say 0, it would have the refresh button here, and then this number 5 button, it wouldn't say number 5, it says 0. And what that does is you press and hold 0 and your menu down button, and what that does is it completely erases all of the secure encrypted communication frequencies you have on this radio. So if you're about to be captured, you don't have any encrypted communication frequencies on this radio anymore, and so therefore the enemy can't listen into your encrypted frequency channels. I think it's still type in the exact frequency numbers, you know, but unless they have that frequency encrypted, they won't be able to listen in, because the other buddies in your group have it encrypted and they don't. So this is the genuine Harris model radio, which is great. I haven't had a chance to purchase a Chinese, you know, TCA or Triumph Instruments version, you know. Haven't had the chance to do that. Harris was almost not going to sell me one, because I said, you know, we really just sell to government agencies, military branches, governments, countries. I said, listen, man, I'm in the militia. I need a very reliable radio. And they're like, look, kid, for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 bucks, you can get yourself a nice, decent, you know, Baofeng radio. And I said, 3 YouTube videos I saw, the title is Baofeng, Chinese junk. Don't buy this. Okay, well, for $150 on eBay, you can get a Wuxin radio. Pretty much does the same thing. You can have 2 different frequencies, one on top of the screen and one on the bottom part of the screen, just like the 152 or 148. You switch between one or the other. The Wuxin radio will give you a 50-mile range of sending and receiving transmissions. I said, yeah, man, but is it 100% freeze-proof, dust-proof, or 100% waterproof, freeze-proof, or dust-proof? Or waterproof, freeze-proof, or dust-proof to any degree, even at like a 5%. No, okay. And they almost weren't going to sell me one, but I convinced them to do so, but they charged me a fortune because they normally only sell in bulk. So I'm not going to tell you exactly how much I paid for this. You're going to have to go to the Harris Corporation's website to figure that out. But this is the end of the review. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time where I do a review on this.